Good morning, class, and happy Friday. Today is Friday, May 15th. So, if today is Friday, what day was yesterday? Good, yesterday was Thursday. And if today is Friday, what day is tomorrow? Good. Tomorrow is Saturday. So instead of talking about an important day in history today or about important birthdays that are on today, I want to talk to you about today's special day because today is our last day of online learning for this school year. So after this, you won't have to do any more work online for school. So it is officially summer, which is super exciting. And I just wanted to tell each and every one of you that I am so grateful that I got to be a part of your class this year and that I got to meet each one of you and enjoy all the special things that we learned together and all the special things we did together. So I am going to miss you so much, and I hope you have a really happy and safe summer. So today we're going to jump right into our book, and this is called A House for Hermit Crab, and it's by Eric Carle. And this is a picture of our author for today. Now, Eric Carle is a very famous author. You can tell he has written The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is probably his most famous work. And he is a German American designer, illustrator, and writer of children's books. And like I said, The Very Hungry Caterpillar was a picture book that was translated into more than 66 languages and sold more than 50 million copies. So he was a very, very good author and one that sold so many books, including this book that we're going to read today. And I found this book to be really fitting for the big change that's coming up with this school year ending and a new one beginning soon. So we will begin our story called A House for Hermit Crab. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me? He thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside it to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so, well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It is so plain, it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the sea floor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. "How tidy and hard-working you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house?" "I would," offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. "How fierce you look," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to protect my house?" "I would," answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. "It is so dark here," thought Hermit Crab. "How dim it is," murmured the sea anemone. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like night time," cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. "How bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up our house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another, bigger home. But he had come to love his friends. The sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. They had been so good to me, thought Hermit Crab. They are like a family. How can I ever leave them? In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. "I have outgrown my shells," she said. "Would you know of a place for me?" "I have outgrown my house too," answered Hermit Crab. "I must move on." "You are welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends." "I promise," said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. "Couldn't stay in that little shell forever," said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought. Barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. And that is the end of our story, A House for Hermit Crab by Eric Carle. And the reason that I picked this book today was because it's a really special book. And although it's about a hermit crab, I think the deeper meaning here is just about moving on from one thing to the next. And sometimes change can be really hard and really scary at first. But at the end of it all, you will make so many friends and learn so much through things that change. And so Miss Jones is like the hermit crab in a bit because I was at Rustburg and made so many friends, and now I am leaving and moving to a different shell, but I will always remember my friends that I made and will really hold them close to my heart. And even though I am leaving, we will still have that friendship, and you will have a new teacher that's going to come in and is going to take really good care of you and love you really well. And so I hope that you take comfort in that. And I hope that you know that you are going to have a wonderful year next year and continue to learn and grow so much. And I will miss you. And I can't wait to see all the ways that you're going to continue to grow and learn at school. And I'm super excited for you. So I hope you have a great summer. Thank you so much for letting me be your teacher, and I will talk to you again later. Have a great day.